Hello world, boys and girls, shine your light bright like diamonds and pearls. You could be anything in this world. Weight on your shoulder, let that pressure like a curl. Hello world, they got, none know my name. They got, none know my name. They got, none know my name. It's the come up, now watch the world determination change. Fuels belief is manifesting this we speak. The world's yours, wanna run it, gotta get up on your feet. Future youth we must covet, come together, no more greed, no more hate. You my brother, no matter ethnicity. Godspeed on your come up, wish you cipher what you see. Hope that dream you envision becomes a reality. It's the wealth, it's the peace, cause success ain't cheap. It's the health at its peak, with friends and family coming live. Ooh wee, CJ the host with the most. No telling really where we gonna go. Just strap your seatbelt up and roll. Whoa, oh, if you didn't know, not yet, no. Just to come up, watch me glow. Lights, camera, start the show.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, CJ the host, and welcome to the first official episode of The Come Up, the podcast where literally we talk about whatever comes to mind, and we bring on up-and-coming artists or anybody that's up-and-coming in the field they are in, and I'm so excited to have this new podcast out there, guys. And to be quite frankly, I was very didn't know what I wanted to do, guys. I didn't know if I want to go back to the old type of podcast, talking about old school movies and whether they should or should not be done before, talk about relationships. And I'm like, everybody does a podcast like that. So how can I literally be different? And I just couldn't come up with the right answer. So I said to myself, you know what, man, I just got to really just be authentically me and unapologetically me. And if people are going to rock with me, they're going to rock with me. So the come up was an idea that I had long time ago. It was supposed to be like a YouTube show. Obviously, this is going to be put on YouTube. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to roll with that. I'm just going to roll with this. And what I'm going to do is bring on different hosts to co-host with me throughout the time here on the Come Up and sharing their experiences of the day, the month, the year, or whatever. And we're just going to have a great ass conversation. If you're here for that, stay for that. If you're not here for that, peace the fuck out. Because honestly, man, it's just not about it's about the content, but it's about the people you grow with. And I feel like the people that have been there for the minute, has been with there for me from the beginning, have been rocking with me. So continue to rock with me. We got more stuff coming up, more stuff for the YouTube, more stuff for the Instagram, more stuff just in general, guys. So by the time this podcast comes out, it's going to be after January. And the biggest thing going on for me right now is, as you can kind of see on my shirt, and for those who cannot see the shirt, I am representing the new college that I will be attending this spring, Cal State University of Dominguez Hills, y'all. I mean, yo. I can't believe that, guys. That was supposed to be a hand clap, but I haven't done this in a while, so I can't remember where all my buttons are at. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate you guys staying tuned. But yeah, I will be attending Cal State University of Dominguez Hills, and I am so damn excited, y'all. Like, it's about to be a freaking journey, dude. Like, it's been over, 10 years since I've been back to school. And just to kind of give you a breakdown, like, after high school, I took a little time off in the summer, got a summer job. I think I had so many damn jobs you thought I was Jamaican. I worked over at Knoxberry Farm. And then I worked at Disneyland, I worked at Target, I worked all over the damn place. But after that, I didn't go to school until 2006. I graduated in 2005. So I really didn't start going to school until 2006. And I went to Cerritos College. Shout out, go to Falcons. And I had a great time there till the tail end of my, I guess you say, junior college career, because I joined the speech and debate team. And it was so fun because I got to travel a little bit. My first flight ever was going to what they call the National Communication Association. It was a conference. One of my speech professors said, I think I'll be good for that. So she flew me and another student out to Chicago. My first trip outside of California, outside of Vegas, obviously, because you live in California, Vegas is pretty much like next door. And we went to Chicago and got to experience the Palmer House Hilton Hotel. Thanks. That shit was amazing. Thank you, Palmer House Hilton. Shout out. I need a free stay. Anyway, it was amazing, guys. And joining that conference and seeing other like-minded people within the realm of communication. And when you go to like conferences, like I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go to conferences, they're like different panels. Kind of like when you go to like a comic book convention, you can go sit on panels and people will talk to you about, whatever the subject they're doing or whatnot. I remember I attended a panel on Black women and hair. That literally was the communications panel on that. And I was just like infatuated with that because obviously being a Black man, knowing about Black hair, I actually didn't know that much about Black hair, and I still kind of don't. And I'm learning as I go. I know as a Black man, you're like, damn, Carl, you still learning about Black hair? Yes, it's an adventure. And for those who don't know, Black hair is a thing, especially for our ladies out there. Like for all the ladies out there, major fucking respect. Like major respect because Black hair is nothing to freaking deal with. So yeah, I went and sat on a panel about women's Black hair, and that shit was amazing. So I told myself, I love communications. I love what that brings. And when I joined the speech and debate team, I was able to travel to New York, which not New York really. I went to Connecticut. I went to Greenwich, Connecticut. And anything about Greenwich, Connecticut is they have a total disregard for children's lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. And let me show you why. Let me tell you why that is. I went to Greenwich, Connecticut. We were there for our national speech and debate competition. And our professor at town, shout out to Dr. Lavery, she had a friend that actually lived out there. And I remember driving around in Connecticut, and I'm like, this is so fucking depressing. Like, it's one-way streets, and like either you got like certain parts of Connecticut are beautiful, and other parts are just like in a horror film. It's crazy. But we went to Mystic, Connecticut. I remember this place because we got this cool little taffy and chocolates. It was really cool. But just that little town, it was scary because where my professor's friend lived at, it was like a nice giant house, this old like giant ass barn, like a barn shed. And you can tell that it was been there for some years. But I'm like looking at the backyard. Now out here in LA, people got backyards, but we got fences around our backyard. Out there, they ain't have no damn fences. It's like, okay, my land stops here at this bush. Like, that's literally what it is. And literally behind the person's house was like a pond or a stream. It was like these tall ass bushes and a pond and a stream. And I'm thinking to myself, you really got to teach your kids not to be dumbasses to live out here. Like, don't go to the palms and you'll go past these trees because you're going to fall in the damn pond. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really got to pay attention to your kids out there. That's why I said they have a total disregard for life, because I'm like, not Black kids. Not Black kids. We are not getting nowhere near. They need to be the fence up because we just like to explore sometimes. Like, shit, this looks interesting. Let's see what this is. Actually, I take that back. That's not Black kids. That's white kids. White kids like to explore shit and like, I wonder what this is. Let's go back here. Oh, it's a pond. I should swim in this dirty ass pond. Why? I don't know. I should do it. But it was fun. Back to my story. So literally, I had a good time being out there. And like I said, I got to travel, do some stuff. Went to New Orleans on my speech and debate team and got to be out there about 7 days in New Orleans, all paid for by the school. It was great. Only thing I had to pay for was my drinks. And that was my first time experiencing a gay bar. Now, let me tell you this. I'm not gay at all. I have nothing against gay people. Trust me, I don't. But the thing that I will say is I just wasn't paying attention. I was just having so much fun being in New Orleans. I didn't know there's different sections of New Orleans. Like there is like, the regular New Orleans that we see, titties flying out, and then you keep going down and it gets a little darker. Now, checking. It's like I guess you call it kind of like a gay district. Like Long Beach kind of has like a gay district or a LGBTQ community outside of Long Beach, you know what I mean? Or not outside of Long Beach, within the realms of Long Beach, but like it starts in a certain area. So there was nothing to really cause a red flag and be like, okay, this is a gay bar. Like I didn't know that. So all I know is I was there from my students and my friends, and we're partying, and we're like, you know what? Nobody was really playing hip hop. And you can hear the music outside the clubs and the bars, and we're like, we want to go somewhere that's playing more hip hop. And so we kept on walking. We finally heard some hip hop, and I'm like, yo, this place is playing some hip hop. Let's roll inside this place. So I started to like dance my way into the club. And I was feeling it. I was dancing my way into the club, and all of a sudden I saw two girls making out right by the door. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is cool. All right, I'm used to this. LA, people do this shit all the time, whatever. And I kept running, and I saw these guys dance with each other. I'm like, okay, not a red flag yet. They're just two guys that dance. They weren't like grinding on each other. They're like dancing like side by side, just like, dance to each other. Like, okay, cool, whatever. They're just comfortable with each other as friends. And then I started like opening my mind and opening my eyes up, and I started rolling my eyes around the bar as I'm dancing. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is a gay bar. Yeah, I just started seeing dudes kissing, dudes grinding, dudes twerking, and all this kind of stuff. Girls doing this, girls doing that. I'm like, oh wow, okay. And I danced my way right back out of the damn club. Like, and so I kept it cool though the whole time. Like, oh shit. Like my realization was like, oh shit, that's cool. They kissing. Okay, they grinding. Oh, this is gay. Oh, this is a gay club. Okay, let me keep on moving. So I danced my way out of the damn club, and that was the end of my experience. And then all my friends looked at me laughing, was like, how did you not know that was a gay club? Like, I didn't know because I wasn't paying attention. There was no red flag. He said, yeah, it wasn't a red flag. It was a rainbow flag that was atop the building. I'm like, oh shit, maybe that was the flag I should have been looking for. But but at the end of the day, it was a fun experience being in New Orleans, doing all that, and going to school with something like that was cool. And then after I got back and I was done with I was at Cerritos for about 3.5 years, man. They say it takes 2 years to leave a junior college, but that's like if you go every semester and damn near take a full units every semester. That's something they don't tell you about. You gotta go like damn near every semester. I had one of my buddies, he's done that. He did that every semester, and he was able to transfer out in about 2 years, and then transfer to a Cal State, then transfer to that ugly ass school in LA called USC. If you know who it is, thanks, you know what I'm talking about. And did that all in the 2 years. So my thing was, I'm like, what I'm doing is like, I don't want to do this. I like communications. Don't get me wrong, but what am I going to do with this? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I always thought about public relations, and I'm like, all right, well, I can do public relations. And the best way I can describe public relations or PR, and for those who don't know what that is basically like it's just like the company's image or a person's image of what people see them or what the community sees them as or the company as. So you're in charge of making the image for that company. That's the best way I can describe it without getting too technical about it. And it was cool. That's where I went in as a declared major, and then I just kind of lost sight of that. I left the school like at 3.5 years. I actually transferred to the school called Vanguard University, which is a private Christian school. Go Lions. And I was literally there for only a semester. I was there on a speech and debate scholarship, and I had a falling out with the coach on some misunderstandings. And I was like, you know what, it's not worth me keep going back and back and back in school. And I'm like, well, maybe this is really God telling me like, this is not for you here. So I took that as this college life is not for you. So I quit. I dropped out at the private school and never looked back. And it wasn't until recently, probably last year, where I'm just like, I need to do something with my life. I'm 34, or now I'm 35, and I'm like, I need to do something with my life, and I don't know exactly what the hell that is. And I had ideas. Like I was always coaching basketball. Like I was always doing that. But I felt like basketball was too damn easy to do. It was like, okay, I already know what to do with that. Like coach out of high school for a couple of years, coach out of college for a couple of years, and then make yourself to the pro. Like it was just like, it was clear. Every other path wasn't clear to me, but I'm like, I can always go back and do coaching. And it wasn't until I was watching a Netflix show. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Last Chance U. Yeah, I think it was Last Chance U on Netflix. And I was watching the coach from East LA College, and his journey, the way he was explaining his journey and why he chose to go to East LA and coach there, not making money like that and not getting the credit that he deserved. It really hit home to me, and it really got me thinking like maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what I should be doing. Like I've been doing it all this time anyway, from coaching Pop Warner football to coaching YMCA to coaching DJAA, which is like the Downey Junior Athletic Association out here in the city I'm at. It's like a city sports activities you can do out here, and it helped my buddy out, coaching at his high school. And like I said, I was already coaching. I was coaching freshman basketball, at Southgate High School, and I was coaching it JV girls basketball at Villa Park in California. Also did one season at Warren High School, my alma mater, after I graduated. But it was something I was never really looking into until I saw that Last Chance U, and the light like epiphany came on, like oh my God, like that's what I need to be doing for the rest of my life is coaching, and I really enjoy coaching, and I still do enjoy the communications aspect of public relations, advertising, and all that good stuff. So I'm like, how do I make that work? And it's funny because I was actually watching a show with my girlfriend called Emily in Paris. If you haven't seen this show, I know it sounds kind of girly. It is kind of a love story, kind of really, but I saw it for like, oh, she's literally a social media expert, and she moved to Paris because of this PR firm for the most part, or advertising firm for the most part, and got a job in Paris. And it was like, I'm like, that shit is based on some type of reality. So there's jobs like that actually freaking exist. And I'm like, that is dope. And so that made me think like, I need to go back to school. And it was scary as hell because the only really class I needed to take was a freaking math class. And I'm like, math is my fucking Achilles heel. I can count. 1, 2, 3. I can count. I can multiply. I can divide. I can subtract. But what I can't do, I'm not saying can't. What was hard for me to come out was like I had to do statistics. Like it was either take statistics or like trigonometry or something like that. First of all, I can't spell trigonometry, so I couldn't even take that class. Statistics, it was hard for me to learn how to spell. But at the end of the day, that's the class I had to take it. And I thank the damn pandemic because statistics was able to be taken online because they weren't offering any classes at the site. So I had to take it online, which was the best damn thing for me. The professor I had was a fucking great ass professor. He was super cool, laid out everything, how you want to do it, gave you multiple chances to get stuff right, gave you plenty of time to turn work in. And obviously being at home, I was able to, use other resources to help me out, which was freaking amazing. So literally was the only class stepping in front of me to really get to my goal. And the goal was I need to get my bachelor's in order to coach at the college level. Because my dream and what's going to happen is I'm going to be an assistant coach at UCLA in the girls basketball program. Like I can see it coming. I can see it in my mind. I can see me being there. I can see me coaching. I can see me training. I can see me eventually wearing the UCLA colors, and I'm gonna be wearing it proud, just like I'm wearing this proud. So I said all that to say, like, it was a scary thing. I passed the damn class with a B. I passed statistics with a B, and now that class was able to propel me to the Cal State University of Dominguez Hills, where I'm now happy to say I am an advertising and public relations major. I am so excited for the journey. I'm scared shitless though. I'm terrified. Like I said, I haven't been to school in 10 years. Like 10 years. That's a long ass time. In my book, that's a long time. But I had to think about, like, a lot of people go back to school. And during this pandemic, if we didn't learn anything, like, we need to learn. Like, going back to school is something was very much important to a lot of people in the pandemic because they had nowhere else to do. They either got fired from their job, let go from their job, laid off, or their job told them to take a vacation until this is all over, or they still worked, but it was minimal. And I was like, this is the perfect time for me to go back and realize that's what I want to do. So that's literally what I did. And I'm super excited. Yesterday, I went to go pick up one of my books, and I almost forgot how fucking expensive college books are. And the one book I had to get, like, before, like, they had like a used bookstore. Like, they still do used books, but they had used this book that I had to get for this particular class, was a leisure studies class. And this professor writes her own books. Yeah, that's how she makes money. I'm assuming she writes her own books. She sells her own books, but she can only buy the book new. There was no digital download version. There was no use or rent version. So I had to buy it new. The book cost me about damn $70. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, you know you were gonna pay some money for this. Like you knew you were gonna like have to like really pay for this, and which was another scary part because I'm not full time at my job, but I still work 32 hours. You know, so I'm 8 hours away from being full time, and I did that on purpose. But I'm just like, for the most part, working full time, and I'm actually coaching too. So I'm actually the head varsity coach at a local high school out here in the city of Linwood. You know, called Fireball High School. Shout out Falcons. And it was a hard thing because I'm pretty much coaching full time right now, and we're in the heavy heart of basketball season for a high school, and I'm going to work full time. And now I'm gonna have to merge a full time academic schedule with that. So it was hard financially for me to think about it, and it was hard for me to think about it and visualize it as doing all three things at once. But you know, I literally had to get over that fear, man. Like, and it was because like, just do it. You know, one of my favorite YouTube, I guess you say, stars, uh, and he has a channel, and people ask him all the time, like, how do I get started making YouTube videos? And his simple answer, he says, is just record. Just press record. And I love that he said that because now I take that to anything like, you know, hey, how do I become a head basketball coach? Just coach basketball. You know, how do I get a bachelor's degree so I can coach at that level? Just go back to school. Like it's simple. And sometimes we tend to overthink things. Sometimes we think about it as, okay, this is too much. It is too much. I'm biting off more than I can chew. But anything that it's worth doing takes sacrifice, right? Like anything you do takes sacrifice. Does that mean time I'm not going to be able to, extra time I have to use to go to the movies or hang out with friends, I'm not going to be able to do because I'm going to be either studying, I'm going to be studying film for not only just my classes, but for my basketball. And on top of that, manage a relationship. And it's a lot. It's very much a lot, but I need to take it. Like I feel like not that I need to do it because I know what the end goal wants to be. I know where I want to get to. And I think that a lot of us, we are thinking about the destination and not about the journey. And I know what my destination is, but I'm not concerned about the journey because I know I'm going to need to I'm not gonna need to. I'm gonna find things on this journey that's gonna help me for my career. And I'm excited. I'm excited, like I said, I'm nervous. But anything that's worth doing, you're gonna be nervous and excited about. And I'm very much up to the task of being a full-time student, a full-time worker, and a full-time coach. The great thing is, you know, I just gotta be more strategic about it. But the great thing is, my basketball season is about to end in February. So school starts, in 2 weeks, the 24th. Yeah. So by the time, like I said, by the time this podcast comes out, I'll be in school already. Give you another update probably down the road. I'm sorry. And it's going to be a great experience, man. So I'm for everybody out there who's like thinking about going back to school. It's like, know why you're going back first. Like, honestly, if I didn't need a bachelor's degree to coach, I probably wouldn't be going back to school. But something's like, you need something to fall back on. You know what I mean? But Will Smith says, you know, plan B is reinforcing plan A. So I know the plan, I know the goal, I know what I want to get to. And I just thank God for the opportunity to do these things, you know, in a pandemic. You know, the pandemic's been kicking everybody's ass for the most part. I actually came down with COVID not too long ago. And I didn't feel any symptoms really, you know, but I still got tested positive for it. So I had to quarantine. And I'm like, shit, what do I do with myself? I'm like, oh, shit, I should start back recording. And that's what I did because I didn't think people actually missed some of the things I was doing. And come to find out, they did, you know. And it's funny because I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends. And she was telling me about, like, you know, all the things that she wanted to do. And she's just like, you know, they're really not happening for her. And I had to say to her, like, sometimes God gives us things, but not in the capacity in which we asked him for. Like, God's not a genie. He's not going to be like, okay, hey, God, I need $1 million. Oh, shit, here goes $1 million out of the sky. But he might give you a plan or put somebody in your life to help you get that $1 million. And I say that to me, and I say that to her because for me, there was a lot of things I wanted to accomplish in 2021. Like I actually made an Instagram video back in beginning of 2021 saying to myself, or saying to everybody, saying, I'm holding 2021 on hostage. If you want 2021, come fight me for it. All right. Come get me. Come fight me for it. All right. I want you to come fight me for it because I'm not letting it go. Everything you owe me in 2020, I'm taking it back and then some. I said one thing that's going to be for sure. People in 2021 are going to know my name. And in my mind, I thought about that in the most generic part, like, oh, I'm gonna be famous. People are gonna know my name. It's gonna be a household name. That's how I was judging fame for a second. But then in 2021, literally a few things happened to me that was a blessing, and I didn't think about it till later on at the end of 2021. Like looking back, like shit, I did accomplish a lot, and now more people know my name. For one, I was actually on a game show, a new game show called Game of Talent with Wayne Brady, who is one of my favorite comedians, and he's also one of my favorite people, and he's also one of my favorite hosts. And I was able to talk to him for a second, not too long because he was busy, just about all things hosting and things about being a blarg, which is like pretty much a black nerd, which is pretty funny and cool. I got to be on that game show. Me and my boy Jeremiah J. White. We didn't win. I'll tell you that story later on down the road when Jay come back on the show. When he comes on the show, I'll tell you about that, why we didn't win, but we should have won. But shout out to Game of Talent, for putting this on. And I was on that, and the people from my job saw that. People like, oh my God, people I didn't really know, third parties like, oh my God, I didn't know you was on this show. I'm like, oh yeah, man, I was, and people enjoyed it. And then after that, I actually, towards the end of 2021, I actually did a Facebook portal commercial. So if you have a Facebook portal, you might have saw me and my boy Sean Grant, one of the funniest man alive, do a holiday rap session on Facebook portal. And we got so much love from that. I think on their Instagram, we did like over 350,000 views on their Instagram, and our Instagrams alone. I know I had at least over 2,000 on my Instagram. I'm pretty sure Sean did too. He probably had more because lots more people than I do. But people were coming up to me at work, people I work with, friends, family, everybody was like, dude, you guys did a great job on that. And it was just reassurance that I'm like, okay, I do like this. It was a good little payday too. But thank you, Sean Grant, for putting me on that, man. I appreciate you, man, for helping me with that. But yeah, man, so like people started to know my name. It just wasn't in the capacity that I thought it was going to be, but it happened. It freaking happened. And I'm so happy that it happened because it made me think to myself, okay, I can do hosting and I can also be a full-time coach. And I just got to work it out and organize it better. And I'm actually hosting my own comedy shows at my boy's bar, The Hound in Southgate. So shout out to The Hound Bar in Southgate, which is cool because my buddy's bar, he likes to call it a gothic themed bar / a Game of Thrones inspired bar. So it's called The Hound. Obviously, if you've seen Game of Thrones, it's named after that guy. It's nothing like when you go in there, it's kind of like a gothic look, but not like overly like gothic, if that makes sense. The people are not dressed gothic wise. It's just a little darker in there. It's like some scenes from Game of Thrones in there that you'll recognize, and he has themed drinks that are from the show, like Milk of the Poppy. He has Giant's Milk. He has Sansa's Tears, Oath Keeper. He has the Hound Old Fashioned. These are different drinks that he has within the realm of the bar. But he's like, hey, dude, you think about want to do a comedy show here? I'm like, shit, okay. And so now I do a comedy show there once a month that I host. So it gets my hosting bug out and it allows me to do that. And I still actually do DJing on the side here and there for my buddy's company, Magnite Entertainment. Shout out to Magnite Entertainment. And going out doing, not festivals, but like not carnivals. How would you put this? How would you say it? Like fundraising events I do DJing for. Sometimes I did a wedding recently. I also do like not private parties, but like little things for like the elementary schools and the middle schools, like dances and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy, but it's like pretty much on my own schedule. I do it on the weekends, and it put me a little money in my pocket, and I love it because I actually don't like to consider myself a DJ though. Be honest with you, I'm stealing this from another DJ that I saw at a bar. And when I had his business card, I loved what it said. He said, it said, I'm an atmosphere creator. I'm like, oh shit, that sounds fucking dope. So that's what I consider myself. I consider myself an atmosphere creator. I'm not a DJ. I just create atmosphere. I just create a vibe. And I want that vibe to be a fun vibe, an enjoyable vibe, maybe even a funny vibe at time to time. So I really much enjoy doing that. So yeah, that was been the journey in 2021, man. And my relationship with my girl got stronger, which I pretty much appreciate so much. And she has literally been the light at the end of the tunnel. She's been my biggest supporter, and I just love her for that. And I feel like our bond is getting closer and closer, and stronger. I mean, especially within the pandemic. So we was able to learn a lot about each other within the construct of the pandemic. So that was great too. We actually did a little bit of traveling too. Like I go into a lot of little small cities. One of my favorite trips I'd taken was to this little town called Carmel by the Sea, and it's so beautiful, so peaceful. Like there's really nothing to do. There's actually um, there's no name brand things in the town. Like everything's literally like the coffee shop is like Carmel Valley Coffee Shop. Like, like it's like all these little things. I fell in love with the damn city, dude. Like I really did. Like my boy Henry was saying the same thing when he went. He's like, I fucking love this city. Like I could literally retire here. The people were friendly, and even though, and it's gonna sound kind of mad, but even though it was like a lot of white people, and sometimes as black folks we get a little bit antsy when we're around too many white folks, and we think like, okay, maybe some of these guys are racist, or maybe some of these guys are looking at me strange, like I shouldn't be here, and just they're being overly friendly because they don't know how to act around black folks. But when I was there, I didn't feel that way. Like I really did not feel like I was left out of anything. I didn't feel like they were looking at me in a strange way. I felt like they enjoyed that I was there in that city with them. Everybody was super fucking friendly, and it felt genuine. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. It literally felt genuine to be here, right? It really did. And it was just a great experience. And right now, my phone is ringing. I don't know who's calling me right now. That was my dumb fault for not turning off my phone right now. But there it is. And if you can hear that in the background, that is an iPhone. Like I literally just bought a fucking iPhone. Like I know that I was very much team Android for a long ass time. And I said, I'm going to make the switch over to fucking Apple. Everything I do is on Apple. When I edit this podcast, I have an iMac. So it's like it just made more sense. And after that commercial money, I was like, well shit, I got a little money to splurge. So let's go the iPhone route. And that's what I did. I'm kind of like, damn, like I don't feel like I've been missing out on anything, to be honest with you, but I do enjoy my iPhone. I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy the FaceTime. I am a blue bubble now because I didn't know what that shit really meant. Because iPhone people are really serious about that shit. They get mad when you have an Android and you text them on their fucking iPhone like, God damn, man, you damn red bubble or green bubble, whatever the bubble is. Like, I'm like, you know what, fuck you. Okay, my phone works and it's great. I had a OnePlus for a long time. The company OnePlus, which is a great technology advanced company. So if you ever get an Android, I would say go OnePlus because technology-wise, they're one of the top tiers in the industry when it comes to technology. And I did research with people, and I've talked to all of the kind of different dealers, and everybody said that. And when I went to iPhone, it wasn't actually too much of a difference. Obviously, there's a lot more features on iPhone that I didn't have on Android that I enjoy now. I just didn't like having to swap over all my apps and not all my pictures back, and it was one of those things. But that was with my phone. I have great film quality because when I was in Carmel, I got to film a lot on my phone actually because did I take a camera with me? I can't remember if I took a camera with me. I might have took a camera with me. I don't remember, but it was just a great thing. So basically I'm saying 2021 was a great feel for me. It was great. I had fun. And there was a lot of things that I accomplished. And 2022 is not going to be anything different. I'm going to accomplish a lot. Obviously, I started back doing the podcast, doing a show. That's really what I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's my own kind of show, The Come Up, and just teaching people within whoever listens to the podcast that there's all kind of different ways to come up. And when I bring on more and more people, I'm bringing on different hosts. I'm rotating the host up here, a co-host, talking about, just their life experiences and what they've been going through, and whatever comes up to their mind or where it's been coming up to them for the month or two, talk about that and bringing people on the show who are on the come up, whether it be comedians, whether it be poets, whether it be musicians, whether it be a chef, whatever the case may be. I'm bringing them on the show so they can tell you how they're coming up. And I very much enjoy doing this. Like, I'm glad I'm back. I'm so fucking glad I'm back, man. Like, I miss doing this shit. Like, I really do. I miss talking to y'all. I miss having that connection with you guys, and I miss just putting it out there. And I appreciate you guys, man. I hope you guys are willing to keep on rocking with me and keep on listening to the podcast and stuff like that. So I want to say to you, I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's going to be more to come. Right now I'm playing this little song my boy Laurel made for me. And just one thing to put you out of get you in the mood of just relaxing, chilling, move on to the next thing, guys. So once again, I've been CJ. This has been an episode of The Come Up. So I want you to say, hey guys, keep it coming up. I'll holla at you. I'll see you later. Peace.